Hello everybody, I'm in my shop this week, going to be demonstrating how to paint. There is a warning to this video. There are some safety aspects to it, and if you're underage, do not do it without a parent or legal guardian. Some of the safety equipment you'll need is your safety glasses, a respirator. There's a couple different types you can get. You can get the one that I just showed you there. Costs a little bit more, or you can go with the cheapies. It's good for either sanding or painting. Also, you'll need some masking tape if you're going to tape something off. Some sandpaper. This here is 120 grit sandpaper. The lower the number on your sandpaper, the rougher it is. So if you were going to scuff sand something, you don't want to use like a 60 or 80 grit. That's too rough. It's going to gouge your project. So you kind of want to go like 120 or higher. But what I got here, what we're going to practice on, is a piece of aluminum. I'm just going to scuff it up. It's all nice and shiny, but your paint won't stick to that. It'll spray to it, it'll adhere to it, but shortly after it will just flake off, and you want it to stay on it permanently. So that's why you want to scuff it up. And after you scuff it up, you want to use some kind of cleaner. You can't just use soap and water, it won't work. So alcohol works really well. This is 70 proof. 90 proof is better on the alcohol. It's not the type that you drink. It's rubbing alcohol. So what it does, it gets all the impurities, all the dust and everything like that off your project. Your oils from your hands will get on there and it'll mess up your paint job. Or you can use paint thinner. If you don't have any paint thinner around, rubbing alcohol will work just like thinner, but it won't work in your paint. So what I'm going to end up doing is mixing some paint up here in a little bit, and I'm going to use the paint thinner to thin it out, because the form it's in right now is too thick and it won't go through my gun. And what I have here is my spray gun, and it sprays about, there's 20 ounces. It has a 20 ounce container on top, and I can do quite a bit with it. So, and the operation air pressure is between 20 and 70 psi, and that's your pounds per square inch of air pressure. And if you have too much air pressure in it, it's just going to take your paint, it's just going to sling it on your project. It's going to look ugly. The pre-work to your project, you want to get a good sanding, cleaning of your project, because if not, it's going to look like it has an orange peel to it. It's going to look ugly. So you want to have a good base is what you're doing. You're doing the pre-work before the painting, and it does take some time. You can't rush through it, because if you rush through it, it's going to get messy on you. So I have started another piece of the metal. I did some pre-work to it. I've already primed it, and there's two things you want to do. You want to prime, then paint. But whenever you prime a piece of metal or a piece of wood or a piece of anything, follow the instructions on it. Normally it's between 20 to 30 minutes, just depends on what kind of paint or primer you have, on how soon you can put paint onto it. And normally with your paint, you want to put 2 to 3 coats of paint, or you can go a little bit more, but normally about 2 to 3 coats. And you want to do a cross coat painting. You want to go vertically one way, then you want to go horizontally, so it'll all just kind of blend together and look pretty good. So at this time, I'm going to put you on hold, so I'm going to mix up some paint, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to mix up this gloss sail blue. It's a pretty paint. I've already used it on one of my boats I've painted. I put a pinstripe down the side of it. It turned out really nice. If I have time, I'll show you the finished product of that project I did earlier this year. So at this time, I'm going to put you on pause, and after I get everything mixed up, well, before that, sanding, I can show you that real quick. On your sanding your metal, what you want to do, I'm going to show you a nice piece of metal. I know I showed you once, nice and shiny. And I'm going to scuff it up real quick. I'm going to show you that. And all you have to do is kind of go in circles, scuff it up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. It's scuffed in the middle. Hopefully you can. And like I said, you want to thoroughly clean it with some kind of alcohol-based chemical or some thinner to get all them dust and particles off your project. So again, I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to mix up my paint with my thinner, and it's just, whenever you mix it up, it's just by experience. There is a ratio to it. I normally don't use the ratio that I need to because I've done it for so long, so it's just experience. So anyways, stand by. Okay, I got my paint mixed up and got my safety gear attached but not on yet. But anyways, this is a piece that I'm going to be painting in a second. Sorry about the lawnmower, that's the neighbors mowing, so hopefully you can still hear me. So I'm going to let them pass real quick. So again, I've already painted it. I've already primed this piece, so try to speed up the process. But there is a technique whenever you spray, you want to be about 6 inches away from your project. I can't really show you how far it is with my phone right now. Got my hands kind of loaded. I can't set my gun down. But anyways, you want to be about 6 to 8 inches from your project, and you want to go left to right. You don't want to just just shake it and spray it, because again, that'll look ugly. So I'm gonna try to turn my phone around so you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully it catches it, and hopefully I don't spray my phone. So stand by. Alright, let's kind of show you what it looks like. Hopefully it looks pretty good. And that was just one coat of it. Again, you know, you want to put a couple coats. The next coat will go up and down. So basically you're putting cross coats on there to give it a better coverage. And also you just want to make sure you stay between 6 to 8 inches away. You don't want to be directly on it, because if you're directly on it, you will have runs and sags to your project. And whenever that happens, you're going to have to wipe it all off and just start over again. I do apologize to the lawnmower over there. So that's pretty much it on painting, except for whenever you get done putting your final coat on it, you can put a clear coat onto your project, and what that'll do is basically protect your paint a lot longer. It'll hold up a lot better. So clear coat looks better, especially if you go with the gloss finish. And there's several different finishes that you can use, and that's another story in a story, I guess. So, but you kind of got the gist of it. The biggest thing is make sure you're working safe. Make sure you know what type of metal. I meant to tell you, if you use galvanized metal, paint won't adhere to it. Even if you sand it, you have to use something to etch it with. And if we want to use some household chemicals, ammonia, after you sand it, douse it with ammonia, clean it off real good. Ammonia will etch that galvanized metal, so your paint will stick to it. So again, I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I do apologize for all the noise and the sweat. It is hot out here in the building, so thanks again.